President Benigno Aquino III finally appoints a new military officer to the post vacated by Lieutenant General Emmanuel Bautista, who assumed as the Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Aquino presided the ceremony at the Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City, that will officially appoint Lieutenant General Noel Coballes as the new commanding general of the Philippine Army. Coballes graduated at the Philippine Military Academy class of 1980 and was chosen due to his extensive and long-term combat experience in Mindanao. And to give us the latest updates in the turnover ceremony, we have Lorraine Mata reporting live from the Philippine Army headquarters. Lorraine?
Yes, thank you, Well. Yeah, President Aquino III has finally named Lieutenant General Noel Coballes as the 55th Commanding General of the Philippine Army this Tuesday afternoon. The change of command ceremony started with the grand entrance of President Aquino, the marching of the representatives of the Philippine Army, followed by the receiving of the award of former commanding officer Lieutenant General Emmanuel Bautista, then a short prayer and remarks from Bautista, and finally a signing of relinquishing of his service of command. Bautista in his speech said he is confident with the command of his successor Noel Coballes and believes he would even surpass what he has done in his term as the Army Chief. Moreover, Lieutenant General Noel Coballes, after he signed the order for his assumption of command and the handing over of the command symbol by President Aquino, thanked the President, other prominent individuals, his friends and family for being part of his journey, and noted that his leadership will continue to bring reliable and truthful service. Meantime, Aquino, in his closing speech, praised
That was our correspondent, Ms. Lorraine Mata, live from the Philippine Army headquarters. Maybe we will get back to her later. Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago on Tuesday said she would conduct her own probe into the millions of funds that the Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile gave to his allies in the Senate in the year 2012. Santiago reiterated that Enrile committed grave abuse of discretion when he gave cash gifts and additional funds to senators. In a statement, Santiago said she sent a letter to the Commission on Audit or COA Chair Grace Pulido Tan to correct her opinion that Enrile has absolute power to realign savings to Christmas bonuses. Enrile, on the other hand, challenged Santiago to file a case before the Supreme Court if she really thinks he committed grave abuse of discretion in the distribution of Senate funds to senators last December. Enrile urged Santiago to file a case instead of bringing it to the media.
If there's a grave abuse of discretion, then she can file a case before the Supreme Court if she wants. That is the best thing to do. Instead of just let it hang, and the people do not know these things.
Over the popular urgency of immediately probing the officials of the U.S. Guardian, Transportation Secretary Joseph Emilio Abaya urged the extraction of the ship first took place. Rex Remitio has this special report.
Preventing further damage at the Tubataha Reef should be the first priority according to Transportation Secretary Joseph Emilio Abaya. He pushes for the extraction of the USS Guardian from the Marine Sanctuary before any investigation or hearing. Abaya added he is not yet aware of the sanctions that should be imposed on the U.S. Navy. He is certain, however, the captain of the USS Guardian will face a sanction from the U.S. Navy. Grounding of a vessel is a mortal sin in the Navy, according to Abaya. The U.S. Navy, meantime, expressed regret on the minesweeper grounding of the coral reefs. For GNN, Rex Remitio, News Force.
Weather Bureau Pag-asa said they are monitoring a new cloud cluster near Mindanao that may develop into a low-pressure area or LPA. According to Pag-asa, once it becomes an LPA, it will bring occasional light to moderate rains in most parts of Mindanao on Wednesday or Thursday. Davao Region and Socsargen, meantime, will experience cloudy skies with moderate to heavy rain showers and thunderstorms which may trigger flash floods and landslides, while the rest of Mindanao will have light to moderate rain showers or thunderstorms. Metro Manila and the rest of the country, meanwhile, will have partly cloudy skies with brief light rains. The House of Representatives is expected to start plenary debates on the Freedom of Information or FOI bill. House Speaker Feliciano Belmonte Jr. said Monday the authors will sponsor the said bill on the floor on Tuesday. Bayan Muna Representative Teddy Casino meantime noted they are expecting House leaders will do their best to approve the FOI bill in the 9 remaining session days before the Congress goes on break on February 20.
Kaya ang aming apela, ang aming panawagan, payagan na nilang maamyendahan ito. Para within that 9 days, ma-amend natin, maipasa natin on third and final reading, at maisulong natin yung panawagan ng ating mga kababayan para sa isang genuine na Freedom of Information Bill.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, is urging the Congress to pass the Freedom of Information, or FOI, bill. CBCP National Secretariat for Social Action Chairman Broderick Pabilio meantime warned candidates under Liberal Party-led coalition of losing their credibility if the said bill will not be passed and become a law. The House, meantime, has to act instantly if it wants to pass the measure on the third and final reading before adjourning on February 20 to give way for the campaign period. Despite the framework peace agreement that was signed by the Philippine government, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, said the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, is not excused from the 5-month election gun ban. According to Election Commissioner Elias Yusof, the group is not exempted from the ban on carrying firearms outside residences and in place of business during the election period. Yusof, however, noted members of the MILF could be allowed to carry firearms and deadly weapons if such were a part of their peace agreement. In other news, former counselor, actor, singer, and gun advocate Sonny Parsons defended responsible gun owners after calls for a total gun ban. Parsons reiterated that responsible gun owners pay right amount of taxes, have licensed guns, and use guns for protection purposes alone, further adding that blame must not be put on innocent civilians every time there is a shooting incident. Instead, fortify efforts to stop illegal gun ownership. Meantime, Parsons respected COMELEC's implementation of gun ban, but demands to think thoroughly the consequences of a total gun ban program.
Total gun ban, teka muna naman. Bago tayo dumating na sa total gun ban, pag-isipan mo muna. Because if you do total gun ban, tuturuan nyo po maging kriminal yung may mga lisensyadong baril. Bakit? They will have to protect their personal interest and their family. Itatago niya ng baril niya to protect himself. Hindi baling patay, hindi baling buhay na nakadepensa ka kaysa patay kang pinag-iiyakan ng kamag-anak mo.
On the 25th anniversary of the Mendiola massacre on Tuesday, more than 2,000 farmers led by militant peasant group Kilusang Makabukit ng Pilipinas, together with Anak Pawis party list, marched to Mendiola Bridge to commemorate the 1987 historic Mendiola massacre. Farmers, mostly from southern Luzon, called on President Benigno Aquino III to implement a genuine agrarian reform program, or House Bill 374. The same call they made to Aquino's mother and former President Corazon Aquino 26 years ago. Anak Pawis party list member Rafael Mariano meantime urged the government to scrap its Oplan Bayanihan, an anti-insurgency program that has violated the human rights of the country's farmers and working people.
Una, wala pa ring hustisya sa 13 naging martir ng Mendiola Massacre at wala pa ring tunay na reforma sa lupa. Kaya layunin ng pagkilos na ito na mairehistro ang pinakamalakas at pinakamalawak na panawagan ng masang magkasaka sa ating mga mamamayan na ang pangangailangan para ipatupad ang tunay na reforma sa lupa, kasama na po yung agarang pagsasabatas ng Genuine Agrarian Reform Bill o ng House Bill 374 na ngayon ay nakahain doon sa House of Representatives. At gayon din po sa araw na ito, irirehistro ng masang magsasaka ang kanyang paninindigan ng pagtutol sa tumitinding pakikialam at interbensyon ng Estados Unidos sa ating bansa.
Philippines named as most romantic destination. Obama's speech calls for unity and equality. Rolling Stones nominated for 4 categories in NME Awards. Based on a consumer survey, these and more stories when News Force returns.